Hello, good morning. Now it's going to stop shaking any second. It's just while I was setting it up, hopefully. So today, a bowl of fruit. What will I start with? I suppose I would start with paint. Get some clean kitchen paper. Now I want it to be nice and clean, this orange, so I'm going to work at making sure my brush is clean. The palette is fairly clean. I've just put out this vermilion actually. It's not clean. It's kind of making it murky looking, so I think it's maybe more the brush. Got cleaner water over there. Okay. Let's get more kitchen paper. Oh, for goodness sake. The kitchen paper has got some indigo on it. Or maybe the brush had a lump of it in it, I don't know. Because I really want it to be clean, the orange. I like the way the light is falling on the oranges here. I mean, I could have done with washing up my palette a bit more as well. But anyway, it's alright. I'll take a corner of that vermilion and a bit of the lemon yellow, I suppose. It's disappointing me now. Not clean enough. Let's clean out the yellow a bit. Maybe I need to just use the cadmium red. Excuse me. I'll try the cadmium red. I mean, it's not as if they're fluorescent fruit or anything. But I do want it to be satisfying, to capture the orange of the bowl and also the light falling on the oranges there. A bit more red, I think. Now what I've got here now. Oh, I'm going to cut off a piece of this and use it as a test paper to see what the colour looks like before I put it on my painting. I mean, that's kind of good enough for the bowl anyway. And then I might see if I've got, I'm sure I bought orange paint, flame orange. I remember having a paint called flame orange. This is not it, but it's bad looking. Put it in beside the yellow ochre. I might use some of that, whatever this is now, let me see. Cadmium orange. Okay. I had a lovely one called flame orange. It might have been from Daniel Smith or something. Anyway, I don't know where it is now. Okay. That's the vermilion. And that's that cadmium orange that I just put out there. I didn't have to lift so much of it, did I? That cadmium orange is a good colour. Right, where did I put the brush here? Right, let's see now. I was inclined to start again with the cadmium orange. I mean, it's closer to the oranges anyway. And I suppose I might as well start. I might as well start with that bright orange that's up there on the actual fruit. And now what's this vermilion going to do when I mix it with the cadmium? It's kind of not great, is it? But you know, I think it's close enough to the colour of the bowl. I'll put it on the shadow side over here. Love these bowls. I got three of them, or four, maybe four actually, from my friend Jackie years ago. Heart-shaped bowls. Just love them. Right, so that's going around there behind that. There's triangles of space between the oranges. There's a dark, very dark parallelogram between the four that I'm seeing here. Those four is an odd number, but anyway, I've started now. Let's see. You'll have good days and bad days, won't you, with this carry on? You can kind of just enjoy it, like, and see what'll happen. Right, I'm going to use use the watercolor pencil now to try and make some bit of sense of things. So this would be the inside of the heart bowl there. As it comes across here, then, you know, even, it comes a bit further over than that shadow even. So it'll be about there probably. So if I was any good now, I'd have the picture paper ready for myself. Here it is. And I don't want to be risking getting indigo into the colours. Anyway, I wanted to lift off the light a little bit here because I think it needs to come over a bit further before it makes the heart shape. And then that'll come up around there, making the heart shape up there, which is higher than the bump on this side. It's fairly significantly higher, so I think I'll go a bit more of a risk there. What's this called? This is Faber-Castell Dark Cadmium Orange, and it's a watercolor pencil. What's this one then? This is the same Faber. No, it's not. It's Scarlet Red. It is Faber-Castell as well. Scarlet Red. That sounds good. I mean, this isn't Scarlet Red over here, but I just want to try it out. Yeah, I mean, it'll be dark in there. We'll go back to the paintbrush again, I'd say. So many paintbrushes now in here that I kind of can't find the ones I would normally use. This is my 1 inch, I like the Rosemary & Co ones. 1 inch brush. Right, let me see now what will happen next. Let's try the cadmium red, the cadmium orange, and see about making the light on one side of the orange there. And then I might as well go down to the rest of the bowl, which is quite bright here. And I think I'll just turn it that way. And maybe let it do something to fill in that space. Just to make me feel a little bit alive to it again. Right. No. What about our flame? No, our Scarlet Red. Come back in with a bit of a line. So these are watercolor pencils, which I never really used all that much, but I gave a workshop last year where I couldn't use mixed media and things. And so I thought as an alternative to oil pastel or whatever that I'd use these. I'm still playing about with them and still kind of figuring out do I love them or not. Maybe there's something happening there now. And I suppose I might even use the green version to get some of the darks in. Some of the really dark darks. Might have been better doing it in the third place, but I kind of got a bit bored with it. What am I doing now? I'm going to use the vermilion mixed with, I might have used it with the ultramarine blue actually. I didn't like it so much with the indigo. Let's see what it'll do there. And if I mix it in with that green, it might read as some sort of thing like the shadows that I'm seeing. And over here too. There is a kind of a maroon quality to the shadows rather than green. So I'm planting in. It's all fairly wet, like. And in the middle here, between them all, there was a patch, wasn't there? A parallelogram of shadow there. And this is dark as well, of course, here. Wasn't like desperately, well, I'm liking doing these. I like orange. But I feel like I can't be doing flowers every single day, so. But I could if I wanted to. But anyway, I decided today I was going to do this bowl of fruit. I think I did this before. Let's see if I can find the video, because the other one, the other bowl I did was a blue bowl, and I think it was mixed medium, or there was torn paper and things. So it might be a good one for you to have a look at it if you're inspired to do this carry on today. Now there's a bit of a cast shadow from the bowl onto the table. Oh, I just remembered I've got that fluorescent ink in there as well if I get stuck for bling. No, I'm going to use, I'm going to use a bigger brush for that shadow. It was Viridian green I used there. And Viridian green maybe mixed with, well, actually mixed with nothing, I'll just let it alone. And then I might put a touch of it on the other side there as well. On the edge of the table, might be no harm to put in something for the edge of the table, just to say, here we are, located firmly in space. There's a bit of a yellow ochre hint to the table across there. And I suppose I could bring some yellow ochre into this too. Right, now, what next? I'm not keen on the fluorescent one, to be honest. Will I tell you why? Because it's not orange, it's red. And I don't want red coming in here, really. I wouldn't mind a bit of bright there, but actually let me see if I can make it without going straight for the brightest bright. I'm thinking of the oranges, the color of the oranges. Kind of richness of them, you know. And back here is the color of the thing, which is not unlike the color of the oranges, really. Of course, it's all orange. And then I might just make a little line. And kind of inclined to stop fairly soon. It's something anyway. And the thing is, I can share the other one with you as well. Now, I don't know if you saw, but I'm doing a Facebook sale. I always get a bit nervous around the Facebook sale thing. I just decided really yesterday, and it's going in the newsletter today, and it'll happen tomorrow. So it's all kind of fairly swiftly decided upon. Sure, I might as well. I might as well do it swiftly. No, what did I do that for? Picked up some of that cadmium orange with the pencil, thinking, oh, that'll be nice and bright, but it's not bright at all. Because that's actually the brightest part of the whole thing, really. It seems to be getting a bit brighter as I lift it off. Okay, so I don't know what else to do there. So like I could, isn't this paper lovely? I was thinking that I could do, Darren gave me that. I could do something to describe the shadows, you know, with that kind of, but I don't even know where the PVA glue is now. And the Pritt stick, I'd say, mightn't work for this. Maybe I can't even see that. Let me see. What's in this bowl? Nothing. Yeah, I've got some bit of Pritt stick here. And it looks like there's an orange Posca pen or paint marker pen. That's not a bad color, actually. But I think with these pens, it kind of needs to be fairly dry before they'll really have much of an effect. I think. It seemed to work okay there. Sure, if I'm wrecking it, not by drawing with it on the wall when the paper is wet. Okay, I was talking about the collage stuff. So this is gonna probably drive me to drink now, but I'm gonna try and put that piece of collage, or this piece. I mean, if it was acrylic, I'd chance it and just use the paint to stick it down, but it's watercolor, so it's not gonna stay stuck down unless I put some bit of glue on it. I don't think this glue is even really, but something will happen. And tissue paper is very easy to stick. Like, let's just try it. Get a sense of the shadows without having to work too hard, you know. I'm going to do another piece over there. There's a kind of general air of acceptance, if you hadn't noticed, around whatever happens here. The simple fact of showing up is ticking the box. So after that, anything else is a bonus. If something works out to be satisfying to you, that's fantastic altogether, because the grade A is already allocated for simply showing up. And showing up might be a couple of marks on a piece of paper. What about the middle of it now, I suppose? Well, maybe there I could do another bit. So that patch isn't all that dark, really. Right. I kind of feel like the tabletop isn't unlike the sunflowers. Pattern and the colour of the sunflower. I could maybe put a touch of that at the edge where it's kind of yellow ochre. I don't think I want the brown bits in it though. Maybe on the other side. Right. Yes, I think I've abandoned that idea for the other side. Not really. I think I just need to get a better piece. I keep singing Nick Cave's Into My Arms. I listened to that this morning. I love that song. And it's repeating. Very, they call them earworms in Germany, where you can't get a song out of your head. I'm going to do that as well, for God's sake. What's the big deal? Might as well, by the end of it, I might have patched in the whole table. I just quite like how the bowl is standing out from the table there into the light, you know, that bit. Now that's competing with the shadow there, so I'm taking that off. But I could use another piece that has a bit of green in it, just to help me with highlighting that right bit there. Tissue paper is really fun to make big changes like in a short space of time, isn't it? I really like using the tissue paper there. It feels flush with the surface in a very satisfying way. Right, now, I mean, really, this was kind of meant to be about the oranges, and I wonder whether I could find something that would really say, hey, oranges, you know, that would give them a bit of tension again. I kind of like that there. I mean, actually, if that was dry enough, I could really tear that off and stick it on. Just wanted to get rid of the white edge there. So let's see now, is there more? This is going to get very noisy, sorry. Is there any more orange here? That's what I'm wondering. Orange collage paper. What about that? Those little butterflies are nice, aren't they? I think if I maybe peel off the layer so that it's thinner, it might work as the shadow on the cast by the bowl onto the table. As I say, like, I often find it really does help to keep the shadows thin. And whether about if you can manage to make the lights thicker, that's good too. But in watercolor, generally the light is more the white of the paper, isn't it? Here's the glue gun. Here. Not convinced of that, but maybe I could just put a couple of bits of it on. This is turning out fairly mixed media too, isn't it? Anyway, there we are. I was looking for orange and I found this. I'm not sure now if this is going to work in terms of all the pattern that's on it, you know. It might be something that might work more for the bowl than the fruit. Yeah, I kind of like it there. Here's Lily coming to annoy Maisie. Am I right, Lily? Are you coming to annoy Maisie? Right, I'm gonna just get annoyed by accident. I'm just gonna stick that bit there because I think that works for the bowl. does it? I'll use it for the dark bit of that orange, I think. Like I was thinking if I had a black ink or something, black ink and stick dipped into it, I could draw and make a bit more sense of stuff. Again, I have no idea where. I think it's in the studio somewhere. So I could do with getting that out for tomorrow. There's been a few times now where I could have really done with that kind of dark black line. You know that Nick Cave song, Into My Arms, I think. You know the Nick Cave song, Into My Arms. Really nice. Keeps going over in my head. Into my arms. Into my. Right, a bit more of this. She's currently covering her face with her paws. I'm kind of fighting a losing battle with the oranges. It's almost like everything else wants the attention rather than them. You want you to keep rubbing her? Okay. I think I'm just going to call this a day. I'm just saying a bit of blue is kind of nice when you've got loads of orange. It's not even marking with the water yet. Lovely soundtrack for the video, Lily. I'm going to make it clearer at the edges here. Yeah. See if I can get a photo to share with folks so they can hear what's happening. See what's happening. Right. I'm interested. Was there nothing to lose by trying this out? See what it looks like. Nothing like the oranges, but it does have brightness. Seem to be wanting brightness. And Maisie seems to be wanting peace. Alright, I'm just going to stop there. So that's it. I hope it's been in the camera, visible at least. I keep wanting to do just a little bit more there, you know, curve. Maybe I could tear off some of the screen. Yeah, that'll be my final move. Okay. Right, Lily, do you want to say hi to everyone there? Ah, come on. Right, I'll show you Maisie anyway. Lily was sitting beside her there. Maisie, good girl. You're the best doggy. I'm going to take her out for a walk now. And that's what happened. So, your mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to paint a bowl of fruit or something orange. Lots of love.